And we are live. So welcome everybody. My name is Cassidy Bast. I'm the Director of Career Development here at RE/MAX, Crest, and Masters. And I'm really excited to be launching this new video series, Outstanding Agents, Outstanding Results, where I'll get a chance to interview some of the great agents within our organization. And joining us here today, we have Dennis Sepulvida. Dennis, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Cassidy. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you have been such a great agent and someone who's really been noticed by our management team as a standout agent. And you've been on a really nice trajectory of growth, even through the pandemic and all. And so I wanted to invite you here today to share with us a little bit about that. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your real estate business?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thanks again for having me. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, Cassidy. So thanks. Bit about me. Well, I'm born and raised in North Vancouver, and I've had the pleasure of living all over Greater Vancouver, which is great. It's a beautiful city. I am a RE/MAX realtor, and I service all of Greater Vancouver, and that includes everywhere from Squamish all the way to Maple Ridge. So I cover a pretty wide area, and I do operate under the brand Dennis Knows Real Estate. And you can always find me at dennisknowsrealestate.ca if anybody's trying to get a hold of me.
Wonderful. Awesome. So let's dive right into it here. I want to talk a little bit about focus. So focus is something that is talked about by the real estate coaches in the industry as doing the right things at the right time. And it's definitely, I think, one of the differentiating factors that makes a good agent turn into a great agent. So talk to me about what that means for you in your business and how you plan your day for success.
Yeah, excellent question. I mean, focus is something I definitely struggle with, but it's very important, as you say. You know, it is one of the keys to success and being successful. You do need to focus. Real estate is a challenging industry in that it's so many things going on at once. I always have 10 balls in the air, and it's hard to decide what's important and what's not, and what to focus on. And I tell myself, at least 10 times a day inside my head, I say, Dennis, focus, because you can get drawn into different areas and you see some shiny object over there and you want to go work on that, or maybe I need to do marketing, and I have to tell myself, okay, focus on the task at hand. What am I doing right now? And the most important way I keep organized is in my calendar. So my calendar, everything that's important goes in there. If it's not in the calendar, it's not super important. So all my tasks go in there that I need to do. Those are the must.
We lost your video there for us, or your sound.
Sorry. I apologize for that.
Oh, you're back on.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
I can't hear you anymore. Sorry, let me change this. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Okay. So as I was saying, focus definitely important, and the calendar key is very, very important. That's where everything goes in first and foremost, and then from there, then I have time for other projects and other things that I.
Right. We're kind of losing a little bit of the sound there, so I'm not sure if you're able to make any adjustments.
I can't hear you anymore. I'm sorry.
Oh, isn't that bizarre? Don't you love live, right? These things happen. Ran all the tests. Everything was good.
Sorry.
Let's see.
I can't hear you.
Bear with us, everyone.
Uh-oh.
Can you hear me?
It's showing everything's okay on my end. I apologize. Sorry for this. Let's see if we can fix
this. So I can hear you right now.
I still can't hear you.
Okay. No, nothing?
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Looks like we're back in action.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we got you back. I can hear you good. So let's pick that up. So you're talking about putting things in your calendar. Tell me a little bit more about that and how you focus your day. Like, do you prescribe to doing that 2 to 3 hours of prospecting every day to really focus on the dollar productive activities in your business and really generating more business for yourself? Or what does that look like for you?
I don't right now. Like I'm so busy with clients. I'm not doing a lot of prospecting. Most of my work right now is working on the deals that I currently have in my portfolio.
That's amazing.
Prospecting for me is in the source of social media. I do a lot of work on social media and making videos, but that for me comes secondary to dealing with the clients that I have right now. So the clients I have are always top priority. That's number one focus is working on the business that I currently have. The few hours that I have available, then I spend on social media, connecting with people and then making videos and things like that. That always comes second to me. My clients always come first over everything else.
Yeah, well, that's so great that you're in that place in your business. And I think that's where all agents want to be, is have enough business coming in that, it just kind of flows out from there. If I can just add on to that, when you're first getting started and kind of growing your business, that probably looked a little bit different.
For sure, absolutely. When I didn't have any clients, and most of my time was, focusing on either getting my business systems in place. So that half my day was working on, my website, my marketing, and making sure my systems were fine tuned. And the other half of the day was prospecting. So reaching out to people and doing videos and getting people's attention so that hopefully when they wanted to buy and sell, they would contact me. Basically, that was my day. So it was 50% and 50% doing that. So either working on my business or working in my business. And then over time, all those efforts started to, reap fruit. And then now I'm focusing all on clients because it's just starting to snowball and snowball.
Well, you've done the right things to be able to build up to that. So that's really great to see. Awesome.
Yeah.
Talk to me about what the biggest challenge for you in getting your business off the ground was, and how did you work your way through that?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. When I started, when you first become a realtor, everything's a challenge. Like you start off by, you pass the realtor exam and you spend a couple of years studying for that, and you're just kind of thrown out into the world, and they don't teach you how to run a business, and they don't teach you how to be a realtor. They teach you how to stay out of jail and follow the rules. And, you're kind of pushed out there, and now you go, now what? Now what am I going to do? What am I supposed to do? And you can get pulled into all sorts of different directions. And I'm a pretty ADD guy, so I started going down Mike Ferry and Richard Robbins, and started listening to all these guys that were these real estate gurus and how you're supposed to run a business. But it would take you, I think, 10 lifetimes to absorb all that information that's out there as far as running a business and how to be a realtor. There's so much out there. It's a giant rabbit hole. So I knew I needed to focus, and I said, I want to follow one person. I want to do one best way. And that was getting a mentor. So I decided to get a mentor very early on. And that was a huge, huge help for me as far as focusing on one person's way to be successful. Where, if you're going at it alone and you're just kind of watching different videos and listening to different people, you're going to get pulled into so many different directions. You're going to completely lose focus, and you're never going to get anywhere. You're going to, just kind of spin your wheels. So by getting the mentor, I learned his way. It was a one best way to be successful. I learned all his systems. Also, it was Terry Osti, who also worked for Remax, so he was my mentor, which, just a great guy, awesome, super nice guy, and a very successful, very ethical guy. So I got really lucky to work with him, but I learned in, probably 6 months what it would have taken me 2 or 3 years to learn if I was just on my own. So that was a massive, massive help for me.
Yeah, that's what I always tell new agents when they're getting started. Getting a mentor is worth its weight in gold. I know you end up giving a percentage of your commission to the mentor, but you get where you need to go so much faster, more opportunity to come out of it. It's 100% the way to go. If you've got a long-term vision for this business where this is a career change for you, you're going to be doing this for a long time, take your first year and focus on learning and doing things right. And then the money is going to follow. Would you say that was true for you as well?
It's so well worth it. It does cost a lot of money. And, when you're starting off, money is so precious, and the back of your mind, you're going, oh my God, I don't want to give up my fees, to someone else, but it's so well worth it. And if you just try to go at it alone as a new agent, you're going to be in a world of pain. I can't imagine it's going to take years and years, if at all. I think the success rate is only 10% of it. you probably know what the success rate of
that's right. Yeah, about 1 in 10 agents make it. Yeah.
What is it? Is it 1 in 10?
About the stat that I know of is about 1 in 10 agents make it after their first few years in the business. So doing the right things, when you get started, and that's one thing that we really look for as an organization is agents that are coachable, right? So, coming in and thinking you're just going to do things all your own way and everything, maybe that's not the best way to go. Like we, you know, for us as an organization, we've been doing this for a really long time. We see what it takes for someone to be successful. And so that's why, either when you come on board with us, we pretty much say you're going to join with a mentor or you're going to join a team, because we know that that's like, the route to success.
Absolutely. Yeah. Those are really like the two options. And, you know, joining a team is a great way to do it as well. And, you know, I was lucky. I came from 20 plus years of corporate experience, and, you know, I had a background in sales, marketing, business development. So I know how to run a business. I have that business background. But if you didn't, if you just came like out of college or from a job where you were just doing one thing, and you didn't have that overall image of how to run a business, then team is probably the way to go. You know, I think that's a great option. And there's a lot of pluses of joining a team as well, but you're going to learn all of their systems. They're going to teach you how to be successful, and you're walking into a machine that's already running. So you're not starting everything from scratch, which is extremely challenging. So team is also an excellent option for somebody starting out, for sure.
Yeah. And just one more follow-up question on mentorship. Can you tell me a little bit about what the mentorship with Terry looked like? Like, what kind of things did you guys do together? How did you use him, you know, in your business? Tell me a bit about that.
Yeah, so the formal structure was we would meet once a week. I think it was like 3 or 4 hours or something for once a week, and sit down and have a meeting, and then just kind of go through. We didn't have a super formal structure because that's how I wanted it. I kind of wanted it a little bit more catering to my specific needs. He gave me the option. He said we can follow a plan, or we can just cater what you need right now. And I would have rather have done it that way. That's just how I learn. But we ended up spending a lot more time than that. Like, you know, that was sort of the minimum. But Terry was available. I was calling him probably every single day with, hey, how do I do this? How do I do that? I want to set this thing up. What do you do? And he was always available. I mean, he'd pick up the phone after one ring, you know, and just, oh yeah, no problem. He'd walk me through everything. So just having that person to call was priceless, because you have so many questions. Everything is a question when you're starting out. How do I do this? How do I do that? What am I supposed to do? Oh my goodness, I have a client. What do I do? I have to write an offer. What do I put in the offer? Like, there's so much information that you don't really know and you need to learn. So he was very available for me, which was awesome.
Yeah, well, that's great. And did you do any shadowing with him? Like, did you go with him on any like listing appointments or anything like that?
We didn't do shadowing. We did one deal together. My very first deal, he was there, just to kind of walk me through it, because it was my first one, and I was nervous as you would expect. But most of it was just him being available to answer my questions. I was pretty confident, you know, talking to people and being comfortable with people. And for me, it was more the little details of like, where do I get this paper and what do I put on there and what clauses should I use? So those little details in the back end, he was there to answer all of that for me.
Yeah, that's great. Wonderful. So one of your strategies for business growth was to dive into doing video, which is, I think, such an important tool for success in this business. And I think it's the future and something all agents that are looking for growth should consider getting on board with. Tell me about the process that took for you to get started and to get comfortable, and what kind of results has that brought you in your business?
Yeah, for sure. Video is very important to my business, and it's something that I knew very early on that it's such a powerful tool. Video is so powerful, versus just like a photograph. There's so many agents that out there, and they just have a picture of themselves doing that, and it doesn't really convey a lot of information. Where video, you learn so much more about the person, how they think, how they act, how they talk. I knew it was an incredibly powerful tool right from the start. So I started making videos, not really knowing what I was doing at all at the beginning. And, my first videos were pretty terrible, but, I always say, being terrible at something is the first step at becoming really good at it. So,
love that.
You have to just start somewhere. And I just turned on the camera and I was like, hey guys, I'm making a video, and people liked it, and they were, I'd run into them at the store and they're like, oh my God, I love your videos. It's so great. And they'd learn things. I'm like, oh, I learned about this and I learned about that. So I couldn't believe people were actually watching it, but they were. And the videos, as time grew, they got better and better. And, I started getting more, getting lights and, a little bit better equipment, microphones, things like that, just to improve the quality. Taught myself video editing and some graphic design. And so now the videos look a lot more polished than they did at the start, but
Yeah.
you just have to start somewhere and then just get better and better.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And I mean, yeah, I've been doing the same thing, been diving into video, this year, and yeah, it's a process. It takes a bit to get comfortable with it, and yeah, it's true. Once you see yourself committing to it, then you're like, okay, I deserve to invest more into that new gear or that thing that's gonna, make the videos look that much more polished. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you had a really cool scenario happen when all the serious lockdowns happened back in, I guess, like March into April, and everyone was just staying in and things were just really shutting down. You did a deal very quickly in that time frame without actually even meeting a client, without even physically meeting the clients. Tell me a bit about how that happened.
Yeah, well, we did meet in the end, but the beginning was the full lockdown, and this lovely couple, everything was done through Zoom. This was, before anyone had heard of Zoom. Now it's a normal word that people use every single day. But back in early March, everyone was with Zoom, and we were using DocuSign for sending signatures, and it was virtual showings. And I think it was one of the first couples that bought a house right during the lockdown. So everything was done sort of virtually. We didn't go see the actual house, which was great. And they bought, just at the height of the pandemic, which was really interesting. And we were wearing gloves and masks, and that was all very new and exciting. I mean, now that's normal, but I hate to say normal, but it was quite interesting. And we ended up doing a video, and they wrote an article about it in the Globe and Mail, which was quite interesting as well. So we got published in the Globe and Mail, and I started getting calls from people in Toronto and all over. So we got lots of publicity and exposure from that, which was fantastic.
That's so cool. And this couple, they got to know you from some of the videos that you were posting on YouTube. Is that the case, or?
I think there was a referral from somebody that was watching my videos, and then it got referred to me through them. And then we met, the first time just like this over Zoom, and it was very strange and unusual at the time. And then when we finally did meet, we were wearing masks and gloves, and we couldn't touch or pass papers around. And it was this whole really strange time back then. I mean, now it seems normal, but it was quite unusual back then.
And wait, if you can kind of like think back to that time, was there a point where you're worried, like, how am I going to sell any real estate with everything shutting down? And, like what was that feeling for?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was a challenge for sure. And I one of the things I did back during the lockdown was, instead of taking a vacation where a lot of people said, well, I don't have to work, I'm just going to relax, I doubled down on my videos and just started churning them out and putting out so much content, and spent a lot of time on social media, reaching out to people, even just picking up the phone or doing video chats with people and just checking in and saying, hey, how are you guys doing? Like, is there anything you need?
Yeah.
I'm able-bodied. Do you need a car? Do you need anything I can help you with? And it was great. And then after things started to open up again, the business just started pouring in after that. And I never really stopped. I never had a break. It just kind of rolled right in.
Yeah. Well, you paved the way for your own success. So that's really cool to see. And I think really inspiring as well for a lot of agents that, have been struggling through this pandemic. Now, I know that you have given back to the community, and that's always been something that's really important to you. I kind of think like a lot of our great agents are kind of, in a way, community ambassadors. They know what's going on in the community. They get involved. I mean, the real estate and everything that's happening there. And I just think that that's a really important part in terms of being an agent. Tell me a little bit about that and what that's meant for you and your business.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I have a dog, a rescue dog that I got when I was in San Diego. Her name is Ridley. Super cute dog. You can see her on my website.
So cute,
And she has brought like so much happiness to me in my life, and just completely changed my life for the better. I know you have a dog, so you know the joy of having a dog.
Totally.
It's the best thing ever. And she has this gift where she, people meet her, and everywhere I went, everyone just said, "Oh my gosh, you just made my day! Like, you just made my day." Then I didn't do anything. I'm just standing there holding the dog, and they pet her, and she cheers people up. And I thought, well, now I'm a realtor. I have some flexibility in my schedule, but don't tell people that I don't really. But I have some, a little bit of flexibility where I can go, midday. So we started volunteering with St. John's Ambulance. and we do 2 hours. Well, pre-COVID, now we're not doing it now because of COVID, unfortunately. We would go to St. Paul's Hospital, once a week for a few hours, and just roam the halls and visit patients, and just go and cheer them up. And it's the most rewarding thing I've ever done in my life, and I highly suggest to anybody who's thinking about volunteering or helping out in a hospital or anything like that to do it, because it helped. It's unbelievable to see the turn on these people, that they're in such a tough spot. They're going through something traumatic, and to cheer them up, and to be able to do that and give that gift to people it's really heartwarming. It's great.
Yeah, it puts things in perspective for you too, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm able to do it, and it's so easy for me, but it's such a important thing for them, and it's such a big thing for the people that I get to cheer them up. So hopefully we can go back as soon as this lockdown's over again, and we can go back and go right. We miss it a lot. So
yeah, no kidding. And you started also like a community, like Facebook group for going on like dog hikes and things like that too. So that's obviously like a really nice way to just meet people and other dog lovers and all that.
Absolutely. And that's, I mean, this is my recreation for me. So I like to hike with the dog. And I started the Vancouver Dog Hiking Club. You can find us on Facebook, Vancouver Dog Hiking Club, very easy to remember. And I just found that there was a lack of, I didn't find a group. I wanted to hike specifically on trails that allowed dogs to go off leash, so I could be walking in like Cesar Millan with 30 dogs around me, that sort of thing. And there wasn't anything like that. So I started this group, and I think last time I checked, we have about 250 members or so. Awesome. And it's just growing every day. I get new members that wanting to come on board. There's a lot of dog owners in Vancouver that want to hit the trails. And it's been a lot of fun, just going out there and just hiking with the dogs, and the dogs love it. They get off leash and have a great time. So it's been a lot of fun.
Oh, well, I love that, you just incorporate just things that you love to do in your life, and it, is a natural, thing that, works into your business too. So I think that's really great. Awesome. So last question here. I wanted to ask you, what advice would you have for a new agent starting out? And what advice would you have for someone looking to accomplish more growth in their business?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I mean, we talked about the mentorship and the teams. So, definitely don't try to do it alone. You want to start off, you want to go join a team. If you don't have much experience, then that's the way to go. If you know and you're able to run a business, then get a mentor. And only you can really decide between the two and look at the pros and cons. That's probably the biggest one. But on top of that, I think it's really just believing in yourself and knowing that you can do it, because it's a big jump from getting your license to being a successful realtor. It's a gigantic gap, and it takes a lot of faith in yourself and your own abilities that you can do this. And at the beginning, I had to just tell myself, like, I am good at what I do, and I have to convince myself this is going to work. Believe in yourself and just kind of push through and push through and push through. And don't let the hurdles stop you, because it is going to be a challenge. And I think this is any business. No business is easy. If it's easy, there is no easy business. You're struggling. There's competition. You've got to work. You got to work. You got to work. I do 15-hour days, 7 days a week still, and I've been doing it nonstop. It's been crazy, but I try to have fun at what I do, like making videos. That's a lot of fun. Doing social media, reaching out to people and talking to people. It's work, but is it really? Like, I love talking to people. This is what I do. So yeah, just believe in yourself that you can do it. Just keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. Don't stop, because the challenges won't stop. It's still going to be difficult all the way through, but you have to just try to have fun and yourself.
Yeah, that's so great. I know for like new agents, one of the things that I suggest they do when they get started is write 25 reasons why clients will love working with them, and just kind of like, getting into that kind of headspace and I think, staying in the right mindset is so important in any sales role, and especially in building your business. Is there anything that you do to keep in that right headspace or right mindset?
I do, I meditate every afternoon for, 20 minutes or so, and that definitely helps, because you can get really bogged down. I start my day at 6 a.m. and by the time 2 or 3 o'clock hits, I just have so many things going on, and I have a gigantic list of things that I need to do that grows and grows and grows, and it can be pretty overwhelming, quite quickly and get overwhelming. And so I do like to meditate every day if possible. And that just helps me to reset my mindset and just refocus on what do I need to do and just be, okay, I can start knocking things off one by one. I know what I need to do. That, and then keeping physically fit, eating healthy, sleeping well. I mean, those things are all super, super important. Sleep is probably the most important thing in my life. If I don't have a good sleep, the whole day is ruined. So I need to, have a really good sleep hygiene. It's keeping physically fit, going to the gym, exercising, because you need that energy to plow through. It's hard work and it's a lot of work.
A lot of self-care. Taking good care of yourself will allow you to show up well in your business and in your life. So
otherwise you're going to get tired. You're going to start cutting corners and things are going to start to fall apart. And if your clients start to see that, then it's not going to lead to good things. Like, I want to give my absolute best to every single client. I want to give 100%. I want to blow them away and they think, oh my God, Dennis is the man. He's the best person ever. I want to only deal with Dennis. Then I've done my job,
Yeah, that's so great. That's so great to hear. Dennis, thank you so much for taking the time today to share with us some insights on your strategies for success. For those of you that are watching, next week, we are going to be doing our next episode and we are going to be having Brandon G. Moore join us, who has risen to the top in the Burnaby real estate market and is actually nearing the President's Club, which is pretty amazing. So really excited to be talking to him. Dennis, once again, thank you so much. And I wish you all the success for the rest of your year and beyond.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me, Cassidy. Always a pleasure to talk to you.
Yeah. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.